Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Art Whisperer 88. Today I'm going to do a composition with Mars Black, which is my favorite black. Now, it just crossed my mind, what is Mars Black? And I looked it up on Google, and the series of colors that begin with the name Mars. By the way, Mars is the Roman god of war, and he is associated with the metal iron. And Mars is composed of synthetic iron oxide. Now, I thought because the name Mars, which is a Roman god, I thought that Mars Black was an ancient kind of paint, but actually Mars Black is a very recent 20th century invention because the iron oxide that is used is synthetic. It's non-toxic, very stable, and is extremely opaque and is ground very, very fine. So it's ideal for mixing with other colors. So that is my information on Mars Black. And by the way, there is a Mars Yellow, there's a Mars Red, and there is a Mars Violet. And these are all containing iron oxide. And it depends on what the manufacturer does is they roast the pigment to achieve the color that they want. So here is my squirt bottle filled with Mars Black. This is watered down so it can squirt out more freely. And I will create some lines here. Now, the leftover paint is from a previous printing session. And I cleaned it somewhat, but I want to incorporate the leftover lines from that printing session. Again, I will be using my color shaper. Create more massive shapes of black here. Okay, now instead of using my stick to create lines, I will use a Q-tip. That's what the Q-tip does, is it removes the paint and creates a very clear white line. Okay, so I'm going to let this dry. before I apply the second coat. Okay, everybody, it's been over 10 minutes and this is pretty much dry except for a few small spots. Now I'm going to use this Lukas sand. And some of this raw titanium matte. This is Nova color. This is kind of a beigey color. As you can see, it's really quite thick. It's almost like the texture of yogurt. And I will be using my 4-inch brayer. I'm working on the sandy color first. Now, since this, by the way, this is an 18 by 24 poster size, I like to call it monster size. This is really a very large gel plate. And I deliberately put more than I need, more paint than I need. Because I want to make sure that the entire plate is covered with paint. And if there are leftover traces, that's okay, because I can always pull a nice ghost print from it. Now this time I will add some marks. Again, I will be using my favorite Richeson watercolor paper. Let me just make sure that the edges are clean. So unlike most of the gel plate demonstrations that you see on YouTube, which are very quick, I really prefer to leave the paper on a little longer. This is a bit longer and more demanding a process, and it requires a bit of patience. Okay, so I will let this sit for about 5 minutes. Okay, let's see how we did here. It's been about 5 to 6 minutes. Now I gave this plate a good scrubbing with some detergent and, well, some soapy water, and it seems to help. The paper is coming off a little more easily. Okay, pretty cool. So I will air dry this and continue on to the next one. Okay, this is about, I'd say, 90% dry. Again, I will be using sand. This is a very limited color palette. Some sand, and this is some leftover raw sienna, or yellow ochre, I should say. You could also call this a Mars yellow. It's like a mustard color. Again, I'm starting with the sand color. And I'm working the plate in quadrants. Okay, let's see how we did here. Left a nice ghost. I like that. I'm going to try to pick up this ghost with this, one of my favorite colors called Arctic. Let me just, maybe it's easier just to pour it directly from the bottle. And then some touches of peach pink. Now, in order to pick up this ghost, I'm trying to even out this second layer as much as I can. Okay. Okay, everybody, here's the moment of truth. Hopefully this will pick up what is left over. I did leave it for about 6-7 minutes. I think the transfer is good. Yep, it picked up the black. I really like the texture. But I'm peeling the paper very carefully because it's really stuck on the plate. But I think the transfer is pretty good. Okay. I like this one best of all. Okay, so I will air dry all three of these and recap. Okay, everybody, here's my favorite part of this journey. Now, this is the first piece, and it's a very minimalist color palette. It's just the Mars black and a little beige, and then this with little touches of peach pink, just to give it a slightly rosy tone for variation. Here's a close-up, and I like the marks of the Q-tips. They give a very decisive and clear line. It's a very different effect than the stick that I use. So that is piece number one. Here is the second piece. I like this one too. This is the raw sienna, but it comes out as a brilliant yellow, Mars yellow actually. There's a little bit of oil resist. That is piece number two, and here is the last one, which is my favorite. So I hope you liked this video. Please share, like, give me a thumbs up. Please check out my website, artwhisper88.com, and it is my storefront. And all the sales will help go to the support of this channel, just to keep it going. Thank you so much for watching and for subscribing, and I hope to see you next time.